G'day people, my name's Carl and welcome to Game On.
Alright, so for today's after game review, we've got Shadow playing Ardenn and Tana, we've got Alvi playing Shorikai, we've got Jank playing Marath, and we've got myself playing Dawnwaker Thrasios. As it turned out, Jank won, and as is his right, he gets to start the game chat away, so take it away, Jank.
Yeah, pretty, I don't know, it's just pretty a Marath game. Getting a Drannith out and an Esper Sentinel out really early with a couple of lands and a couple of tutors in hand was very nice. So I had Ranger Captain of Eos in hand. I also had the Goblin Engineer in hand. That was the first card I drew. Opening hand was Esper, Drannith, the Green Sun Zenith, and 3 lands. So it was and the Everson's Pilgrim. Sorry, that was another card that was in my hand. So it was a very standard sort of game for Marath. I don't play a stacks list, I play a combo list. So at that point in the time ending that game, I had 2 possible win cons in my hand, depending on how it went and who interacted with what. So if the Ranger Captain of Eos got countered, I was going for this Dockside win. If Court of Calling got countered, I was going for the Trilobite win through that as well. So it was kind of like a lot.
You had options.
Yeah, I had options. I went for the pure safety mode where I could have done this a lot earlier, but considering I had a Drannith and a Containment Priest in hand, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty good to just kind of play Tutor for Bloom Tender and do it that way and go for the double win potential. But yeah, it was just a good showing of how powerful an early game Esper, Sentinel, and Drannith really helps out. So yeah, it was fun. Not the usual Marath list, but yeah, it's I love playing this deck. It's my pet deck pretty much.
Still looks like a good deck, man. I mean, it's certainly got me interested. There's different lines in there, which is good, and combo with a tiny bit of hate bears more than stacks, I think, which is what Drannith is.
Yeah, I think I have a total of 4 stacks pieces in this deck. The standard Oof, Drannith, Containment Priest, I think it's Sentinel, like Esper Sentinel's the other one. Everything else is just really value things that either tutor and get you to either have Marath out really quickly or just combo and make the game go really fast.
Yeah, it certainly did that. I mean, my opening hand was not these 2 cards, but everything you've sort of seen, including in my graveyard, plus these. Now, the reason I kept it was because of these 2 cards, and I thought early on, depending on what happens, I can use the Force of Negation, pitching the Psych Rift. But once you bought that Drannith out, it was, nah, I've got to use the Psych Rift. And yeah, in this case, it wasn't the best of hands to keep, unfortunately. I probably should have mulliganed a little bit more aggressively to look to go for better, but I thought with the Crypt, I had that. I had those 2 right. No, I had those 3 right there, and I just thought, yeah, I think the tower was picked up on the first turn. Other than that, yeah, I didn't get that much of an opportunity. I mean, as soon as I saw what you and Shadow was doing, I was just like, eep. Maybe the wrong hand to keep, but by that point it was unfortunately for me a little bit too late. So yeah, there just wasn't much to my game. I haven't seen Marath do that before. I've seen hints of it doing its thing, but never that quickly. And yeah, it's good to see actually. I really enjoyed that. It looks like a fun deck, especially your particular build, which will be in the description of this after game review and the actual game itself. So, what do you think, Shadow? Because you had a pretty blazing start as well there, man. I thought you were up until, I think, 2 turns, the last couple of turns, I think you were pretty much in the box seat.
Yeah, that's it. Like seeing the opening hand being the caterpillar, birthing pod, and then enlightened tutors, which is like everything kind of just came together. Start smacking out those tokens, start trying to get that birthing pod on to get that advantage, which just didn't get there in time. Got some solid damage in though. The magistrate to stop off the equipment of art. The equipment was a bit annoying, but work with it. I was trying to get more stacks down with this other Archon, but just didn't get there. Pretty much birthing pod was hopefully going to get me into the hate pieces that I needed to see, but that's it. It's one of those things. If I can't stop you in time, I can't stop you at all. There's nothing to stop people once they start rolling.
And what about you, Alvi?
Oh, I think for me this was a game where I could is lost because I did not respect the Marath deck. Because in my hand at the end there, I had two answers. I both had March of Otherworldly Light and I had Swan Song. So either of those could have helped me answer Marath going off, but I just didn't keep open the one mana I needed to use it. I wanted to use the mana to set up further for next turn, just didn't respect it. I'm still not sure whether I should have kept my hand, but I think it was alright. This was my opener, and I think it felt really interesting because if I drew an artifact that could turn on Nox Opal, then I could go quite fast in turn one. Obviously, that didn't happen, and I think I drew Mystical Tutor, which I ended up using for Ponder. But yeah, I when that Draneth came down, and I had to like chuck away the Narset Windfall possibility as well. Yeah, this game was a rough one. I think I definitely could have played it better, but it was really interesting.
Not gonna lie, when I saw you tap out, I was so happy.
Anytime a blue player taps out, anyone who's not playing blue is happy. I think that's pretty much a standard thing. You're like, woohoo, now you've only got free spells, so I can deal with that because I've got a ranger captain on the table, so yoink.
Yep. I purposely even like sequenced it in that way just in case you had a counterspell like a free one, because I'm like, he's bound to have, there's bound to be one, and yeah, it was so when I saw you tap that last mana, and I was like, yes, all right, now easy. I think I'm good now.
Yeah, that's definitely the way it goes. Yeah, it was for me it was interesting because I've seen Ardenn and Tana a couple of times before, and it's good to see it sort of Tana doing Tana things with some equipment and, basically spitting out tokens like no tomorrow. And then to see Marath just go, oh, hey, I win now. Bye. I think that was pretty good too. And that was what, third turn? So for your fourth turn. Yeah, that's right. Didn't get to my fourth turn. So third turn win, man. That's a very, very solid win, And from what you were saying, you might have even been able to get close to doing that on your second.
Yeah, the only reason I didn't try to do that second turn, because I had Avacyn's out, and then I could have gone for Dockside turn 2, but I was just worried because Alvi had mana open.
Yeah.
You were tapped out at that point, I believe, but Alvi had a mana open, and I'm like, no, I think I can wait a turn or two with a Draneth and a Containment Priest. I think I'm fine. And yeah, definitely, I think was the right choice because I drew into the Ranger Captain, and it meant I could go for extreme safety at that point. So pretty good. Pretty good choice, I thought.
No, that was, man. That's a very, very, very solid third turn win that none of us could stop. Certainly gave me more of an appreciation for Marath because I haven't seen it go off before. So, yeah, I've got a better idea of what to look for now. And in future, Goblin Engineer must die.
Everything's a win con in this deck.
Yeah. That's certainly what it's starting to seem like now. So, but as I said, I like seeing it go off. It's good to see decks do what they want to do. I sort of thought that Shadow with that with that birthing pod out was going to go into nutsdom, but yeah, you just took it off the table outright. So. Well, that was a good game, and thanks for the game, boys. I definitely appreciate it, and thanks to everyone out there for watching the after game review, and don't forget to tune in next week for the next episode of Game On.